I'm not built to film early in the morning. I was gonna film this review last night to have it up in time for Wednesday for you guys, but I just didn't have the energy after work. And this morning my hair is just not sitting right after my shower, but whatever. You don't care about how my hair looks. So, 안녕하세요 여러분, 저는 Maria입니다. 오늘은 I'm going to do a first impression review video for the first 4 episodes in the currently airing K-drama entitled King the Land. You can watch this K-drama on Netflix. Originally, I had planned to do a combined first impression review video for both King the Land and See You in My 19th Life. However, I just completely ran out of time yesterday while trying to script, so you're gonna get them in 2 separate videos. King the Land follows the very turbulent relationship between an employee at a luxury hotel company. Now, this company also has branches in many other sectors. For example, they own, I think it's a department store and then also an airline, so a very affluent company. And this employee is quite special because she has a very lackluster educational background. Most people who get hired for this company have graduated from a 4-year degree program, whereas she has only completed a 2-year college diploma. However, what she lacks in her education, she makes up for with personal, I want to say personal grit, but you'll understand why I don't think that's an accurate characterization of her a bit later. So instead of personal grit, she makes up for her lack of education with a award-winning smile. And then our male lead is the son of the company CEO. And he is a man who absolutely detests fake smiles and is on a journey to try and discover more about his mother through the hotel. The show also does a really good job at illustrating how our male lead truly has no idea what it feels like to be a working person. He doesn't understand how he has a lot of privilege in the fact that his livelihood isn't tied to how friendly and how well you can smile. So, like I did say earlier, I have watched the first 4 episodes of King the Land, and my true genuine reaction or first impression to the series is that it's really nothing special. I think the show is relying or banking way too heavily on the assumption that its audience members will be happy to just watch 2 attractive people interact. For example, let's talk about the female lead first. I really do like this setup about her being someone with a lackluster education, especially in a country like South Korea where your education, your background, your personal connections, all of these things are super important. So I like the concept, the idea of this underdog story where a woman goes in and shows that you can be successful without an education. I really like that. But how it's done in King the Land feels less of an underdog story and like a woman with grit who is really working hard to prove everybody else's assumptions of her wrong. It's not that story. Everything seems to be handed to her, and I don't understand where she's getting all of her skills. Her skills feel super convenient. She can speak multiple language. She's like a certified wine expert. But I just don't buy it. Like, I feel like it's super convenient and flat for the plot alone. Early on, we see her do a wake-up call for a foreign guest, and as a wake-up call, she ends up playing some of this guest's earlier music. They're a musician, and I thought this was like a great idea, but I don't understand how the audience is supposed to make the leap knowing that like she's such a music fan when we never see her consuming or enjoying music. Like, how easy could it have been to show this female character listening to classical music on her way to the job interview? And then another example that I found to be super convenient and didn't land for me at all is she's in the VIP lounge and she ends up making a wine pairing for a guest. And the scene is supposed to be played for like, oh, look how cool she is and look how like prepared and ready she is. And I feel like it's just so convenient because it comes out of completely left field and it's so like surprising that she suddenly has this wine certification and can make these great pairings. Like, how much more interesting and engaging would it have been, at least in my opinion, to see a character get assigned to like this VIP lounge and then her studying what kind of wines and spirits that the lounge offers. Like, I just feel like she never actually works for her position, and this really is more of a show about pretty privilege. Like, she seems to just be handed everything because she's quite pretty and has a great smile. And I think if they had leaned more heavily on, say, a woman who does get everything easy in life because of pretty privilege, that would have been a very apt conversation to have, again, in a country like South Korea, but also like for worldwide audiences. And then that setup would have paired really nicely with the existing setup for our male lead, who is someone who sees right through fake smiles. And then suddenly this woman who is like capitalizing on pretty privilege would have had to actually work to gain his respect. I just think that would have been far more interesting than how she just seems to be perfect and good at everything to do with the hotel without any effort whatsoever. I don't want this character just to continue pulling out these skills and like out of nowhere. Now let's talk about the male lead, and I do enjoy him far more than the female lead, and that's just because he's got very clear and obvious character flaws and things he has to work on personally throughout the course of the series. Like, I know where this character is going and I know his strengths and his weaknesses. They're clear to me. Every character should have strengths and weaknesses. What I don't like about this character is just how quickly he developed a crush or feelings on our female lead. It seemed to, again, come out of nowhere. And it seemed to be a result of him just realizing how pretty she is. So in the end, you guys, will I keep watching King the Land? I know I just spent a good, my timer's been going for 15 minutes kind of dragging King the Land, but episode 4 was the best in my opinion out of all of them that I've watched so far. And it has gotten me a little bit more interested to maybe give the show at least one more week. That's another 2 episodes. I also am really enjoying the side characters. I feel like King the Land is trying to do what Because This Is My First Life did in their character setup, where it's really following the lives of 3 best friends and tackling some social issues through the lives of these 3 best friends. There is one best friend within King the Land who is married, and there's this scene where she comes home to find her in-laws just lounging about, having eaten all of her food and left her a pile of dishes, and then they have the audacity to say, "When are you gonna make dinner? You should go to the store." And I really felt for her. I think that was probably my favorite scene out of the entirety of the 4 episodes that I've watched so far, and that scene pretty much alone has made me want to watch a bit more. So in conclusion, I will give this show one more week, but I don't recommend it at the moment. I don't think it's one that anybody has to run out and watch. I would categorize this as bad trash. And, before I go, I really want to shout out a subscriber who found me over on Instagram. Oh, geez. We have been discussing K-dramas for, I don't know, like months and months and months now, and they asked me to give them a name shout out, which I'm gonna do now. I apologize in advance if I mispronounce your name, but I believe it is pronounced as Parami. Parami? So Parami, if you're watching, here is your name shout out. Have a good day. Have a good night. Bye.